So yeah, the reason I asked Dav along to do this at Dav's suggestion was because this actually the whole insurance claim thing kind of resonated with me, because when I had my business, a printing business, we had a fairly significant fire, and you get that phone call on the Sunday evening, early Sunday evening, and it's an alarm activation, and we'd never have false alarms. So I knew something was wrong. Bolt down to the business, you turn the corner, and you see the building engulfed in flames. And that was my first experience with a significant claim. And added many complications were added to this because it turned out to be arson. It was a competitor trying to take us out the marketplace. And both the fire brigade and the police forensics made a complete hash of gathering the evidence. I mean, it was a catalogue of errors from start to finish. But what saved us, when we took out our insurance, we paid an extra £100 to have an assessor work on our behalf should there be a claim. So it meant that we didn't have to work directly with the insurance company. And the whole claim went very smoothly, right? And the disruption to the business because of a contingency plan was actually quite minimal. And that, as I say, we hear horror stories about insurance claims and how to deal with them. So I think it's a really hot topical subject, no pun intended. So without further ado, I will just hand over to Dav. Thanks for joining us, Dav. And you're going to tell us how to navigate the headache of insurance claims.
Thank you very much.
Over to you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So I'm Dav. Insurance has been our game now for 12 years. We started off as a letting agent. We then started having to do repairs for our clients. And then we started picking up insurance claims here in the Northeast as well. So whilst we're based in the Northeast, we've expanded the claim service, which is literally just us and our expertise. And we've done claims right throughout the country, north and south, and we've been down to London, that kind of stuff as well. We've always been loss assessors, and most people don't actually know what a loss assessor is as well. Even when we've been down south, as busy as what down south is, I've been absolutely amazed by how few people know. It's just literally come across loss assessors. No, if you're checking your own network, have you heard of a loss assessor? Very few people have actually come across loss assessors. But when it's motor claims, have you heard of somebody that deals with motor claims? If you have a car accident, that kind of stuff, pretty much everybody knows that, yeah, you can go to a broker. They used to be, very, very common. Nowadays, not that many people deal with them and stuff because the government kind of snookered that game. But for us, what I wanted to go through with you guys is not so much us as loss assessors, the experience that we've gained by doing insurance claims almost with a builder's hat on. All right, so that's what I want to try and really stay focused on. This isn't about us and me showcasing, showing off what we've done. I'm not interested in showing off. This is very much at the end of it, you've got to be saying, yes, this was completely, truly productive of your valuable time at the end of a long working day. So the kind of claims that we've been doing are all the kind of claims that a builder would be interested in. And that's the reason why we've been doing the claims, because we have a building company as well. So the idea was that we have the claims to bring in to the building company. The claims company is our lead generation. So things like a fire, a flood, a burglary, storm damage, cannabis farms, impact damage, anything that physically damages the property, that's what we're interested in, and that's what we've always been doing. So we've been doing that for 12 years, genuinely have dealt with hundreds of claims. those that have worked, those that haven't worked, small claims to big claims. And over the years, we've increased the size of the kind of claim that we deal with. And one of the golden nuggets, without any shadow of a doubt, if you look at a property and you think it's too large to take on, I'd urge you not to look at it that way. If you deal with a small claim or if you deal with a large claim, they're pretty much the same thing. And that's the amazing thing. For years, I stuck at claims which were like 20 to 30,000 pounds. They're the ones that landlord properties got broken into, there was metal theft, a little bit of consequential damage, that kind of stuff like that. And we enjoyed ourselves with them. They were great. And then when the first £100,000 claim came through, kind of stuff like that, gosh, it was about the same as doing a 20, 30,000 pound claim. It really is just fantastic. And as I say, nobody really knows about loss assessors, and that's the unique thing as well. Okay, so nobody really knows about loss assessors. This isn't about loss assessors. This is about perhaps you pitching yourselves as builders who specialize in insurance claims. All right. So what I'd then say is that, okay, if you're going to specialize in insurance, then you need to understand some of the terminology. Would we agree? Just for me, has anybody had any claims handling experience as a builder, or perhaps, you know, were personally kind of thing? No? Great. Okay, brilliant. Just then a second question for that. What brings you here tonight then? You haven't? Are you interested in maybe going into that sector then, insurance claims as builders?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant, fantastic. Okay, well, thanks for joining us tonight, and let's get started then. So, the kind of claims, anything to do with a property damage, fire, flood, cannabis farms, impact damage, that kind of stuff. If you're picking up a cannabis farm claim through insurance, pretty much now, a cannabis farm is likely not to go through insurance, because there's a ton of exclusions around a cannabis farm now. The letting agents, if it's a rented property, or the owner should have done a huge amount of checks, to the point that really it's unlikely that somebody that's carrying out illegal activity at the property would take that property up. They'd go somewhere else. However, a fire has very few exclusions, practically no exclusions with a fire. All right, so we'll have a look at that there. Now, to do insurance, you've just got to understand some of the jargon. It's full of jargon, and it seems like it's quite difficult, but it's not. It really, really isn't. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to have a look at some of these documents. So, fire, flood, explosion, storm damage, impact damage, subsidence, theft, burglary, contents, and all of this is whether it's commercial or residential. As long as it's a property, it makes no difference. All right. So let's take that away from there. Okay, we're looking at the terminology. Okay. Okay. You've normally heard of an insurance policy. The insurance policy is actually one document, but there's three parts to an insurance policy. If you ask a client,
Now, if that's not opened up, it's just, are you
right.
sharing that PDF?
Yeah, just in one sec there, mate.
It's not opened up. I'm just seeing the list on the screen.
That's right. So you've got three there, and
That's it.
the policy. They're not opened just yet, because really just sort of like just staying on the fact without looking at it just yet, without. And then you've got two parts. You've got a schedule, and then you've got a statement of fact as well. Then three documents are known as the policy. But most people, if you ask them for the policy, would only send you the policy. The difference is then, as Stuart's pointing out, here's the schedule. So the schedule basically has the property address. This is the risk address, to use the terminology. There's a residential property. It's saying it's occupied 100% by the tenant. The building's insured value here is 148,000, and it's been uplifted from day one to £223,000. But effectively, what we're picking up from that is that the client has got this property insured, and they said it was worth, the rebuild value is £148,000. That's your first insurance technical jargon, rebuild value. It is completely different to the amount of money that somebody paid for the house. It's not the actual purchase price. If that property was completely destroyed, grazed to the ground, and you had to rebuild it, clear the land, all of the planning fees, surveyors fees, architects fees, everything, including consequential damage to neighbouring properties, that kind of stuff. That's what this client has said that their property is worth, £148,000. To do all of that, to rebuild it, to get them back into the position before the actual incident. If that's not enough, then the insurance company aren't going to pay any more than that. In fact, then they use another term, which is underinsured. So let's say, for example, if this property, the loss adjuster, and there's a phrase as well, the loss adjuster is the person that works for the insurance company, sent out by the insurance company. When I say that they work for the insurance company, there could be a separate company that just simply deal with the insurance companies and look after the best interests of the insurance company. When a loss adjuster comes out, people seem to think that the loss adjuster's coming out for them. They're not. You didn't ask the loss adjuster to come out. The loss adjuster's coming out because you've made a claim. They're there, to be technically correct, they're there because they're acting on behalf of the insurance company. We, as loss assessors, or you, as the builders acting in the client's best interest, are there trying to look after your client. So, different sides of the fence. If they said that this property is worth £200,000 as a rebuild value, that's basically, they're telling you that they believe that this property is underinsured. And that means that if the payout was agreed, then there is going to be a percentage, pro rata percentage, reduced from that settlement. I won't go on because we've got a lot to cover, but the rebuild value is an important part for you if you're going to take on a claim. You need to know that little bit, because if the client's going to be heavily underinsured, you might say, actually, you know what, we need to walk away from this because it's not going to be worth our while. It's also saying that they've got rental cover as well. So if it's a tenanted property, if it's damaged, that kind of stuff and that there, then when settlement comes, we might say, right, it's going to take us 6 months for us to carry out this work. If the loss adjuster agrees that, then the landlord is okay because they've got rental cover. The landlord's not going to be losing out. I always put in extra because we have a few jobs on and you've got to account for holidays and delays, that kind of stuff. So everybody's happy. The client's getting the job done. They're getting paid the rent that they would have been getting anyway. So then you've got extra time for yourself as well. And then there's also contents cover there as well. Any questions around that at this stage? Okay.
Nothing for me.
So that's the schedule. That's just the one document there. The statement of fact is also equally as important. And let's just be clear here. The fact that you bought an insurance policy doesn't mean that you're going to get paid out when something goes wrong. You might have said, for example, that you live there at the property. You're renting it out, but you live there. That's wrong. Something's happened. Now a loss adjuster comes along and stuff like that. You're not living there. And if you try and pretend and all that kind of stuff, they've got all sorts. They've got investigators, all sorts, and that there. Up front, somebody needs to be as honest and open as possible, because it's in your best interest that when something goes wrong, these guys, they can do whatever they want and take as long as they want to look into a claim. All right. The statement of fact is they asked you all these questions up front. You can see these here, we'll go through them. And then when it comes to the claim, they'll ask you them again, whether that's on the phone, when you're reporting the claim, or when a loss adjuster comes out. And your answers really shouldn't pretty much deviate from what you told them when you took out the claim. I know it sounds like a lot, but honestly, it really isn't a lot. The trick of the trade is that what I just said to you there, that they should be the same. That's what you need to be looking at as well. It looks, it looks fair bad as that, doesn't it, and stuff when you're looking at them there. But it's not. I mean, look at the property construction. What type of property is it? It's a house. Is the property more than 4 stories high? No, it's not. And that kind of stuff there. And these should be correct. Why would you buy an insurance policy, give them information and everything? Because this policy you may need to rely on if it's, say, for example, a very, very bad incident, and you've given them wrong information, incorrect information, whether you've knowingly done it or not, for them to be able to say, sorry, really, really sorry, we wish we could pay you out, but you know what, you're not going to get paid out because you gave us the wrong information. But people don't actually know this. People buy this policy because they haven't had any knowledge, any training about insurance and stuff like that, and they don't actually even appreciate just how important this is. The focus of this, and this used to be my focus as well. I'm not knocking anybody that does this. I used to do this as well. You buy this insurance policy, and all you're interested in is getting the cheapest quote that you can. And then literally, right, job done, file it away. Even when it comes in, you don't bother checking it as well, because, well, I told them the correct answers, but you never checked it. And then when it comes to a claim, then you check it, and unfortunately, it's too late then. And then the insurance policy itself, not wanting to scare you, you're already very, very, very quiet, 60 pages long. But it doesn't mean to say that you have to go through 60 pages. There's certain sections, terminologies, the definitions are very, very important. The buildings are here. This is what you're covered for. Consequential loss, something as a result of them items that are there. What's covered. And then the kind of things that are covered as well. I suppose really, now when I'm looking at these documents and stuff, I know we're just to simply jump in to the sections and stuff. But the reason that I'm pointing these out to you up front is that to do this, to do these claims and stuff like that, you do need to understand this. These are the bits of the training, the knowledge, the upskilling for yourself to help your business. Because for us, for years, we've been doing this. This is very, very, very much worthwhile. So let me just, at that stage, let me give you some of the boring stuff. Let me give you an example. I already give you a teaser of it in terms of if you had a job. So this job here, this was water ingress from the roof. 1 bedroom, 1 master bedroom, and the next single bedroom there. All right. looks bad, doesn't it? The trick is as well, leave it looking bad. If you go in there, clean it up and everything, it looks less bad. Looks less bad, then basically you're not going to get paid as much. Because you know what, when you clean this up, I mean, look at it, you know, somebody going in there in half an hour's time after you've had an asbestos test done on it, and it was clear, was that here, clear that out, clear the bed out, clear all the crap that's fallen down. It's looking somewhat tidy again, so then you can properly assess it. The damp, the mold and stuff there, you know, it's there. Basically, it had a false ceiling to it, and you can see further up there and stuff. That's that. This claim here, this is the one that I alluded to, and this one here we've got, what was it, £22,000. £21,799.50 for that claim there. But the rest of the house wasn't affected. But at the same time, this is how it was when the tenant left it and stuff. We cleaned it up there because the specialist went in there and we cleaned it up for the poor landlady. So if you were getting £22,000 to shy of for such a job, and this is the northeast, bear in mind, not London. Obviously, different prices, different labour and material prices, that kind of stuff. Would that be of interest to you guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you've come for then, to try and learn more about this here and try and get into this here and these kind of prices? Because one thing's for clear, absolutely clear here. If this was the poor landlady and we were looking at charging her, I would never, ever, ever dream of putting £22,000 in to a private landlady for this job. Yeah, it'd be a fraction of that price. All right. And then basically, what was it here? After we've done the bits of the payout, the commissions that we had to pay and things and stuff and that there, we had £14,000 left on that job. All right. And I can go on there. So if we look at this here, these are photos of different types of claims. This is impact damage, fire, you can see here. Commercial, residential, makes no difference. This is a cannabis farm where this was the room where they were growing, and they also were growing up in the loft as well. This is just a first floor flat. Because they were growing up in the flat, up in the loft as well, then obviously when something went wrong, the actual roof was burnt out as well. This flat here, 3-bedroom, first floor flat, this was a payout of £120,000. Now, what you're looking at here is it had been empty for about a year after from when the fire happened, because the loss adjuster went on and on and on with their queries. There was the fire exposed the roof. We put a temporary tarpaulin up. The emphasis being on temporary as builders. About 4 or 6 weeks later, the wind took it away, or partially took it away. Not our fault. The owner pays again to go up there, then great, pays again and pay the invoice, no problems. They wouldn't do that. So then the actual property got worse and worse and worse. And then eventually, when they did pay out, this is still the same property. When they did pay out on that there, then it was even better for us. If that floor wasn't damaged, you can't claim for it. But it's damaged, it's badly damaged, it's compromised, it's gone. So they've got to now, unfortunately, pay for a new floor as well. And bearing in mind, it's a first floor flat as well. And just think of the poor bugger downstairs as well, that was getting all of this damage here. This is a different one there. Fire claims are better, they're far more profitable, they're easy to find as well. You can potentially go chasing fire claims as well. Impact damage again. Do you reckon fire happens a lot? Is it an incident that happens often, do you think? No. It'd be amazing. I think this is a bit something like when you're looking at a new car and you go to the showroom and then you start looking on the road and then suddenly you start noticing the same car that you're looking at. This should be the same. If you're really genuine about it, and it is, from our experience, everything that we've done has been through this business, and this is the very best part without any shadow of doubt. I don't go chasing penny claims. I don't go chasing hundreds of pounds worth of jobs or £1,000 job or something like that. For me nowadays, it's got to have tens of thousands of pounds in it, and then we're interested in it. As we've already pointed out to you, the insurance and the amount that you can charge, the premium that is in there is unreal. And if we went back to this one, this is a gas explosion one. Just up here recently, the northeast, I think there was something like 6 or 8 properties that had a gas explosion. Very sadly, I think about 4 people sadly passed away in that, and a young child as well. And so they do happen from time to time. Unfortunately, if there's a disaster, that's where we want to be. But looking at this one here, that one there. So the fact that we've got £22,000, you put a quote in, and we had to put 2 quotes in, so that's fine, get one and get another one as well. But then what does the loss adjuster then do with that? The choices that they've got is they can get somebody from a panel of approved contractors to put a price in. And in my experience, their kind of prices are about the same as what we put in. They could send a surveyor in, and the surveyor basically could look at that and then draw up a schedule and then say, right, based upon our prices, this is how much we're offering it. We can look at it, kind of stuff like that, and then we can. It's all about negotiation. You have this period of negotiation after policy liability has been accepted, and then you have the agreed settlement as well. Let's have a look. There's 16. Fire damage to property here. This was an arson attack. Tenant was living here. This was her home. You'll see in some of the pictures and that there, she had it lovely. Somebody comes along and puts something through the front door. Initially at this stage, this is still ongoing, but we'd estimate this one here to be around about 75,000. Just going up the staircase. I'll leave it there for that one there. So the claims process then. That's it. Forget loss assessors, builder looking at helping somebody with their property damage claim. That's the focus that you're looking at there. The way that we operate our service, always have done, is that we say no with no fee. So when we're doing the claims handling service, we don't charge them anything, but they know the contract that they sign with us is for the fact that our interest is to carry out the restatement works. So literally, that's what you're interested in. You're telling them that that's what is the case. We sign a contract with them, so we know that we are going to be getting that work by helping them through navigate the insurance claim. So for us, and because we started off as letting agents, and therefore we know the letting side of things and stuff, our USP is that we assist landlords with their insurance claim, whether residential or commercial. A landlord could be somebody that lives some distance away from the property as well. The one that you've just been looking at, the video there, the client lives the other side of the country as well. You imagine, obviously, when they see that video, how concerned that they're going to be about how they're going to get themselves sorted out with that. So we're there on the doorstep. We help with boarding up, sending a gas engineer, sending an electrician in, get it sorted out, and then it just holds for the insurance company. We don't even send our invoices in because I'm not interested in charging the client. I'll wait for the insurance company and then we send our billing then. The difference between a loss adjuster and a loss assessor, or you as a builder and the loss adjuster, you're there representing the client, the insured, and the loss adjuster comes out and they're representing the insurance company. The client may need alternative accommodation, they may need emergency assistance or something and that there, you know, and we provide all of that with their holding the hand right the way through the actual entire process. So before the loss adjuster comes out, when a loss adjuster comes out, you need a timeline of what's gone on, the date something happened, how did it happen, how was it found, who found it, and then if it's escape of water, a plumber's report, for example. Now, if it's wear and tear, the insurance policy will not pay out for wear and tear. If it's, for example, a faulty isolating valve or something, which is an unforeseen event, a one-off event, then fine, you're covered. If it's something that's under the shower, under the bath, and it's been there for a long time, but couldn't be seen, but when it's found, you know, then you're covered that way there as well. But if basically it's presented as that, or it's been there for a long time, and it's just been weeping away, that kind of stuff, etc., they could potentially put it under wear and tear, lack of maintenance, and you don't get it. It's the small detail in terms of how you present your case is the difference between successful claim and something that's going to fail, because it's sort of like just not clear enough. But this is where your building expertise, your understanding of the insurance terminology will start coming in and being the difference between something that's going to be going through successfully and something that isn't. They'll typically ask for 2 or 3 quotes, maybe 2 kind of stuff. That's not a problem at all, getting them in. The schedule of works, depending on, if the larger it is, you can actually get the services of an independent surveyor, somebody that you appoint. And obviously, when you appoint it, it's going to be the client, but on our side, so to speak, somebody working on our behalf paid for by the insurance company, they typically get about 10% of the claim. That's very, very good numbers. So the one that we've just been looking at, that video, £75,000 claim, work on the basis of around about over £30,000, and you can get a surveyor on the job. So the surveyor will draw the schedule of works, do the tendering process, that kind of stuff. You put your quote in as well. They're going to get 10% of that. So that's like £7.5 grand for doing that, and project management as well. Even the surveyor's on bloody good money as well, so to speak, putting it bluntly. And then you've got the surveyor helping you as well. You know, when you're going through and carrying out the works, that kind of stuff. There, your health and safety risks and stuff like that there are covered. And then, as I was pointing out to you, the golden nugget and stuff there, the money. You don't even have to use your own money as well. You can ask for, even if that it was a £75,000 claim, you can ask for 50% upfront, 45% midterm, 5% at completion. 50% upfront, you know, that's not just your cost, you're getting some of the profit in upfront as well. 45% midterm isn't like months down the road, it could be about a month to 2 months before you're claiming your 45%, and then 5% upon completion. Gosh, you know, I was worried about the 5%. And that's the difference with insurance, rather than, you know, going to say Joe Public for the same thing. As I say, the one that we've just been looking at, that video there, £75,000, the client would never ever pay £75,000 for that being reinstated. That's the difference. Happy to answer any questions at this stage.
Any questions? Anybody? Either shout out or stick in the chat box. It's small enough just to shout out. Rohit, you got something to say?
Dav, how what would be our first approach? Would you say our first approach should be to approach loss adjusters, or to bring in insurance work?
So you want to work with the insurance companies, Rohit, rather than say the insured?
So if it's the insured, am I correct in understanding that we would have to look for, say, a fire damaged property and try getting in there first?
So fire damage property, looking for a fire damage property is one way. Another way would be anybody that deals with property. So for example, letting agents.
Okay.
Yeah, property developers, the large management companies of high-rise blocks, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So our first contact would be to get in with, say, estate agents, like or clients, because it could be, like you said, escape of water, and you wouldn't necessarily see escape of water from just driving around
Absolutely.
outside.
Absolutely. So then you're going in just as a contractor or a builder, but we bought out a disaster restoration company about 5 years ago, and the idea there was that if we can go in with our drying equipment, then we've got to pop through the door. We're already speaking with the client, and then the clients begin to basically accept you, know you, like, and trust you. And then say, yeah, you know, if you can, then please, you know, can you do the next stages? Because surprisingly, a lot of people don't actually know people that can sort the works out.
Yeah.
So some of the softer things are the things that actually get you through to the big thing itself.
Okay. And so loss adjusters are not. Would you say it would be worth appointing approaching loss adjusters to see if they've got anything, or?
Yeah, for definite. Why not? There. So if we did this, we had it last year, where a loss adjuster, when I met him on site at one property, for the first time after 12 years, then basically he was there. It should have only been maybe half an hour. We were there for 1.5 hours just chatting away. He seemed to like our offering. The drying equipment was already there, and lo and behold, he actually got us on work and things, and we had, I think, 1/3 of £1 million worth of business in about 4 months from him.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously. There, but just as much as they can give you it, as he did, he then stopped it and took it away from us. Yeah. Yeah, so never have all of your eggs in one basket, that kind of stuff there. But yeah, insurance, when you were asking the question earlier, do you think fires happen often, that kind of stuff? It is a massive industry. There's lots of adjusters, full time running up and down of this, that, and the other. There's loads of them, loads of loss adjusting companies as well. These things happen all the time. We're here in the season of adverse weather, which is great. You would think, it's busier, but previous storms, even from last year, there'll be people that are still going through things. You won't think of it, but people will still be going through where maybe property still drying, all sorts of stuff there. Things don't happen quickly. An insurance claim, that one that was just showing you, I think if I remember right, that claim there has been sat there for something like 6 months already. It's still the same, not a thing's been done with it. They sent out a loss adjuster. The insurance company then said, sorry, but we're now dealing with it in-house. I think they've run out of money, the insurance company, which is unusual, this particular one. And they've just been messing us about for 3 months, not going anywhere with it. But that's highly unusual. More often than not, what's going on. And then I can tell you also which insurers are good, which insurers are really bad, which insurers look after the company rather than looking after the client, that kind of stuff. So which insurance companies to avoid, that kind of stuff. But because this is being recorded, I daren't say which insurance companies are really, really bad, kind of stuff,
Yeah, no, that's very helpful, Dav.
I really, truly want you guys to actually get into this and succeed with it, because I promise you, faithfully promise you, anybody that wants to come up and see us and have a little bit more learning, that kind of stuff, you're more than welcome. But we've been doing this for years. Everything, the kids, everything that they've enjoyed, the wedding that daughter's just had, multi-million-pound portfolio that we've got, this has been through this business.
Okay.
All right. And then numbers, that I don't know, I just can't think because I'm on the webinar kind of stuff and out there. This isn't me being front of house kind of thing. But the jobs that I can show you in terms of, the numbers, just like that job there, obviously we keep the numbers for every job, we can show you the payments coming in, that kind of stuff. We're not here to make it up. I'm not selling you something that you would buy from us. This is for you guys to say, look, truly, we've been doing it for so long. It's not a secret. It's not like, even if you were here in the Northeast, so what? And the Northeast is a big region in its own right. That street where we did that £120,000 house, that street had a lot more properties. That was only one house.
Okay.
Yeah, good for you for sharing that. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Stuart, would you, if Dav's happy, would you kindly share Dav's contact details? I know it's been recorded, so probably off recording.
Yep, absolutely. The recording will be on YouTube, but what I'll do is I'll email you tomorrow with Dav's details. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Whereabouts in London are you?
We're based in Willesden.
Wilson. I don't know London too well, but my daughter she's with us in the business, but she's actually now based in Kent with her husband.
Kent is about an hour's drive from here.
So it's not too bad, really, is it, for down there?
It's not, no.
Yeah. But she's got the experience as well.
Okay.
Right, so you've got somebody down there. Plus, we also have a very highly experienced loss assessor that we work with down there as well.
Do you know what I'm thinking, Dav? This seems to be quite a lucrative, systemized business. And I just wonder if there's opportunities for you to franchise that concept UK-wide.
Could I just share this here with you? I'm glad you're saying that, Stuart. I do truly look up to you, everything that you've done before and how honest you've always been. But here, see, franchising, don't say.
You've won it already. Brilliant.
Yeah, franchising there, the training, basically all of this, I've had it before and stuff there. There is a couple of others that do franchising and things and stuff as well, but then we've heard of people complaining about them. I think people are looking at buying into this here and then think that we're going to give you these leads and all that kind of stuff and that there. But what we'll do is we'll give you everything that I'm giving you now already. But as I say, please don't even take this for a moment that I'm selling you this here. I'm not. You know, this is what we've done. It's there, far too busy really doing its own thing, but it is something that we had done before. So all of this here is literally, you know, this has been brilliant for us. And if I'm a builder, we are a builder. This is my specialism. What's the point of doing a quote, a job, going out to a home owner who wants, say, 3 quotes for, say, £1,000, when you know, all of that running around, that kind of stuff and that, as I say, focuses on tens of thousands of pounds and on clients that'll pay you the money up front to do the job, and it's far more profitable as well. That's our focus.
Yeah. It's a great bolt-on concept for a general builders and whatnot. I'm just surprised there's not more people doing it. Well, probably after people watch this recording, there will be a lot more doing it. So absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, honestly, thank you, Stuart. I love your enthusiasm there. That is exactly what I was wanting to achieve, with hopefully a bigger audience. But obviously, we start off from where we are, but without any shadow of a doubt. You know, we've been doing this for years. Our the photographs, the jobs, and that there. You know, gosh, flipping like if you said, right, show us this, show us that, that kind of stuff, and that there. So if we put in fire, design fire, no flames. Let's have a look. That was Rothbury. That one there, the first one flat, was Rothbury. Doors, window certificate. So what we've done a job, it's got everything, and this is Google. We use Google for everything, you know. So the schedule of works was there. This is that first floor flat, as I say, you know. So this is the surveyor doing this, the schedule of works. They say they earn 10% doing just this here, going in there, doing that, send it out, get 2 or 3 quotes in and things and stuff, then do a review of it, send the report to the loss adjuster, and then project manage the works. Project manager works fantastic for us and that there, because they're the ones that carry the CDM responsibility and everything. There's all sorts and that there. So photos. Fire 3 Hawthorne, Rothbury fire. That's that flat again, and there we've seen that one already. Gosh, I've actually, honestly, I've got a brain freeze right now. Forgive me, but I could. All of these, every single one of them has got my hand on it. You know, right from start through to finish, through the project works, that kind of stuff, and that there. I'm the one person that deals with a client right throughout and stuff that you know, this looks really, really, really bad. This was also another approximately £120,000. So in fact, actually what we have is we have, for the franchise, that kind of stuff, case studies. Not in photos, but here. Case studies. Insurance paperwork, new claim cases. Do case studies. No. Case study. This one was actually one through the loss adjuster. This was us doing the job for the housing association. So, Roy, if you were looking, for example, of how and who to go out to, the housing associations who are massive property owners, this is something that we did, for example. But the learning in here is that we were dealing with a guy who was the delivery and performance manager of the North East, contracts manager, senior technical officer, that kind of stuff as well. And so when it came to the windows, for example, to say that, what was his property address? I'll show you, 17 Kiffin. So this here, sadly, a fire happened in the small bedroom while the family were sleeping there. One of the toys, PS4 or something like that, the charger or something went faulty. The family got out all okay. So pretty much upstairs, the bedrooms, a bit into the loft space, just down to the bottom of the staircase, everything else downstairs was all okay, lounge room, that kind of stuff as well. We've got photos, the bedrooms, the windows were also smoke damaged as well. And as we were going through it and stuff and that there, we said that the windows need to be done as well. The top man said, oh, I need to check my budget and see whether we can afford to do that and stuff like that. And then they're saying, just make sure, are you suggesting the windows can be replaced as part of the wider insurance work? And will we be charged for this as well? So these top people, contracts on the job, hands-on, that kind of stuff like that, they're actually asking the question whether the windows will be part of the insurance work or whether they'll need to pay for it. Now, you and I, looking at something like that, why should we be paying for it? We'll be saying that they're good grief, that's got to surely be insurance, that kind of stuff as well. These guys were lovely, lovely, lovely guys, you know, and then we've been able to get that through the insurance claim for them. This is our understanding that, look, insurance has to pay for this here. We've got it through insurance, and they're so grateful that we've been able to get that through them and save their budget. And this is the thing, you know. Because we understand insurance, then we can go in and we can add value to them because they don't specialize. And even the guy that they have an insurance team as well, and even the guy there weren't kind of like offering that input and stuff, you know, there. So that's the thing. You have a unique set of skills by doing this. And by adding value, and who doesn't want to save money? I mean, if you're connecting somebody, if you can get your money from somewhere else, you know, why not?
Mm.
Our problem is we're not particularly brilliant at selling ourselves. This is still, whilst it's been very good for us. The guy, when I was talking about cars, there's a company up here called Wins the Solicitors, WINNS. As I understand it, he had an accident in his vehicle, non-fault, and he saw from that he was going to be losing out. He went back to his partners, they weren't interested in it. He moved on, started his own business, and nowadays his home is an old school in a fantastic part of Newcastle. He's around the world with a young model. He's a lovely, lovely guy. I've had the pleasure, privilege of meeting him and stuff like that. But they were massive because people bought into it. So when I say that, well, do you know what Windsor Solicitors do? Yeah, I do. That's what most people say. Well, we do the same, but we do it not for cars, but we do it for properties.
Brilliant. Okay, Dav. Anybody else get any questions for Dav?
No.
Anything else, Rohit? Pravin?
No, I think I'm good.
All good?
Yeah.
I'll send the details out tomorrow with Dav's contact details. But that's great, Dav. I think there'll be a lot of people kicking themselves for not coming along because great opportunity.
I hope so, and that there. But hopefully, and I'm happy to do it again. I'm happy to repeat it and that as well. You know, we're not wanting to keep
Sounds
this
good.
quiet. More and more people need to know this.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll maybe get it scheduled in for the new year, which is not that far away. So thanks then, Dav. Thanks for coming along. Rohit, Hamal, Pravin, thanks as well.
Yeah,
I'll
thank you.
send out the details tomorrow. And if there's any questions, I'm sure Dav will be more than happy to help.
No, we just want to know more, and we will contact him to
Excellent.
how to get into this, because I've been okay. After me, Rohit has taken over, but I've been doing it since 1993 as a builder
Wow.
in London. But what we need is some. When we are on in the moment, we are only builder and contractor. So if we get some more jobs in insurance, that will help us a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Hopefully we can help.
Oh, super. Okay, guys.
All right,
Thanks
thank
again.
you. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
I will let you crack on with your evening. And
Yeah.
thanks again for coming. Thanks,
All right,
Dav. Thanks,
thanks.
Rohit.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Take
Mal.
care.
Cheers.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.